Hey y'all, Dr. Alexander, Dr. Latoya Danielle Bradley Parker Alexander. I had to put all my names in there in case, like, who's Alexander, who's Parker, who's Bradley? Toya. Okay, so look, for those who don't know it, this is my last day at my current place of employment. And I did want to do a nice little farewell. And I decided to do a recording, I could type up something and send it out to you or something like that, or I could just give you a phone call over the speakerphone, but, I'm not going to do all that. I'm going to do a nice little video and let you all know how I feel about you all, every individual that I had some type of correspondence with at my place of employment. So, y'all know I'm extra, right? And I became real extra since I got that doctor in front of my name. So I even got a title of my farewell for you all. And it's called The Chronicle Laments of a Rural Band Director. Y'all, I think this is probably more intense than my dissertation itself. So let's go over the terms chronicle and lament. First, chronicle. I found two definitions for that. The first one refers to the book of Chronicles in the Bible. So it's more of a biblical aspect, right? Okay, I'm feeling that. The second one refers to a term for a record of events. So we're going to be going with the second definition for chronicle, the latter. Yes, a term for a record of events, because there's a lot of things that I endured through my time of employment at my soon-to-be ex-work environment. And, I think people have the right to know. It's not throwing shade or anything. It's just throwing facts. And, I never did understand that. Why people always saying that, you being extra, going around telling people your business or telling their business and stuff. And I'm like, but if it's actual facts, why is it a shame? Why are you ashamed of it? If it's an incident that occurred, why are you trying to hide the facts? Because facts is knowledge. And I don't know if y'all heard this or not from me, but my new quote that I've started, and I'm going to say it all the time, is you can repo my car, but you can't repo my knowledge. And that's why people are afraid of facts, because facts is very knowledgeable and knowledge is dangerous. So with that being said, lament, a passionate expression of grief and or sorrow. Okay? So, first off, let me go ahead and tell y'all why I'm resigning. Before anybody of quote-unquote importance this school district say that I left because I got my doctoral degree and I was pursuing another position in administration, don't be fooled. Y'all too smart for that. Y'all too smart for that. First of all, if I wanted to pursue a position in administration, I could have did that with my specialist. Because I have had administration on my license for a few years now. I chose to stay a band director because that's my passion. If it's because someone says because I left for more money, now y'all know better than that. Because first of all, the only reason why I came back to this district, because I got a phone call from certain people asking me to come in. I almost don't think I had an interview. I think I just did my paperwork and I just started working, okay? So don't act like I'm here for money, because that's not what it is. Actually, I took like a $15,000 pay cut when I left the previous place I was at to come here, because I was informed that this place needed me. And the thing is, the person who asked me to come, I have so much respect for that person, the utmost respect for him, that I said, you know what, fine, I'll leave this job that's paying me all this money. Because no matter what school you go to, you're going to have drama, you're going to have issues, you're going to have political issues. But that school was paying you the money to suffer that issue, okay? So when I came back, took the pay cut and everything, I was told one thing about the band program. Got something completely different. First of all, I was told it was up and running, but when I got here, I didn't have no bodies in the band program. I had great equipment, but I had no bodies. But, you know how I do. I ain't complaining about it. I'm a go-getter. So, I went from 0 to almost 80 kids in the school district this year. And, we instead of one band program, 9 through 12, we got 2 band programs, 9 through 12 at the high school. And we got, 6 through 8 at the middle school. And I was planning on starting one at the elementary level, 4th through 5th this upcoming year. But it is what it is, So I just want to let y'all know right now, I'm not leaving because I got my doctoral degree. I'm not leaving because I want a position in administration, because y'all already know I ain't got patience for that. I'm leaving because of broken promises. That's why I'm leaving, broken promises, and just, just the unprofessionalism of it all. So let me just take y'all down a little memory train. Let's go down this Chronicle list. All right. So I had a band banquet on a Friday where my superintendent came and left within 15 minutes. When I realized he was there and I looked up to acknowledge him, he was gone. So that's how long he was there. I couldn't explain to the kids why he left. Kids like, he left. I don't know why he left, baby. I don't know. Didn't get a chance to hear none of the awards called out or nothing like that, And then I was told by people who saw him that he looked like he didn't want to be there. I don't know what. My thing at hand is that I got to the point where I was so used to certain people in the district not showing up to band events that I wasn't really looking forward to him to show up. So I don't know if somebody said something to him or whatever, or maybe one of my posts I put on there about some stuff got to him. I don't know. But, there's a lot of things we did this year that he wasn't there for. We did a spring recital, first year ever doing that. Went really well. Had a couple of signings, band scholarship. And I ain't talking about this little bit of money. I'm talking about full tuition scholarship. William Carey, Colin, Not trying to toot my own horn, but between athletics and band, I want to say that I had more scholarships given out these past couple years, just band, compared to the athletic department as a whole. Basketball, softball, football, but once again, it's not about me and my achievements, about these kids and what they're going to do with their lives. So, it is what it is, So when I realized he was gone and I got ready to rope my seniors and stuff, I had like an epiphany. I feel some type of way. I feel something run through myself. And I realized every year I do the same thing. I honor my seniors and they leave me. And I'm still here enduring the same stuff, same broken promises every year. And it's like, I'll be left behind. Every year my kid says to me, you guys stay here till we graduate. Don't leave until we leave. And I'm like, if every child say that every year they come up here, I ain't gonna never leave, I'm going to be in a coffin in a band hall. I'm going to be the band hall vampire, okay? I'm just saying. So it's like, I'm thinking to myself, what kind of life is that going to be for me? So on the way home, I decided, you know what? This ain't going to work for me. This ain't going to work for me, because I was promised some stuff that I didn't get. I was promised to be director of fine arts. And the thing at hand is that it's more than just a title, because I can title myself anything. I'm director of bands, director of students' behavioral issues. This is a title. But all I wanted was director of fine arts, an administration position. So that way I can start using my credit instead of teaching years for his administration years. That's all I want. And I discussed that with them and everything. So it probably be set in place, but I received something else instead. And then the banquet came, and then somebody showed up for a few minutes and left. And I just felt like, what? I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm just tired of feeling like I'm doing people a favor, or they're doing me a favor. I don't do favors. They don't do favors. We're here for these kids. And there's no favors when it comes to these kids, So on my way home, I thought to myself, my vision I have for fine arts is too big to fit between these little walls in this school district. So, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to achieve the goals I want being restricted the way I am. So you had a band banquet. Was it Friday or Saturday? Band banquet was Saturday, I believe. No, it was Friday. It was Friday night. Yeah. Banquet Friday. Then came back Monday. Turned in my resignation Monday morning. And I received a phone call from a very good colleague. Never had any issue with this colleague. Can always speak openly to this person. Didn't have any type of conflicts or anything like that with this person. And I could always express how I felt about things. And, inquiring about my resignation. Even wanted to meet up to discuss the issue. So this happened on a Monday. So I'm thinking, okay, well, we're going to meet and discuss some stuff. Maybe this can be resolved. Maybe I can stop packing. On Tuesday morning, I was summoned. Yeah, the word summoned. I was summoned to my campus administrator's office, where I thought it was going to be a meeting to discuss my resignation, because it was some big heads in her office. But, made a phone call to the super, and the super requested everybody be, dismissed out of there except for me and the administrator. So I'm like, why are you getting rid of the big wigs? We about to have a conversation about this issue we have about me being, resignation, me wanting to be fine arts director. What's going on, all right? Y'all, I'm not even much worth a in-person farewell. I was summoned to the office, and I'm not upset at all with my administrator, because at the end of the day, you need to follow directions. And the directions was for her to summon me to the office, okay? I had no reason, no idea why. I didn't know what the reasons, just following directions, So it's just me, my administrator, and a verbal superintendent over the phone telling me, thank you for all that you've done for the district. Thank you for all the scholarships you provided to the students, the opportunities they have at William Carey and Colan, and thank you for building up the band program. Thank you for this, all this, thank you, right? And this part right here. If you need a letter of recommendation, please feel free to call me. And I'm thinking to myself, okay. So if somebody come up to you and ask why I left, and you go to somebody and say she left because of this, and that, nobody don't know the truth, because the things that goes on but within these school walls. And not once did my super must ask me to stay, to reconsider, nothing like that. It's kind of like it was like a sign of relief, like he couldn't wait to get rid of me, which is understandable. I am very headstrong, but at the end of the day, I do my job, and I do it for the kids. I don't do it for limelight. I don't do it for myself. I almost do it for the school. I do it for the kids, because somebody got to. Okay? They bad kids, but they my bad kids, period. So now I'm mad because, first of all, you sent me an email after I emailed you my resignation. You're going to send me one word back, received. It's amazing how you can answer that email, but can't answer the rest of them. I sent out this whole entire time I've been employed here, but whatever, that's a whole different story. There's a whole different chronicle. We ain't got time for that book. But just to have a farewell over the phone, you could just left that alone. Don't do that. I mean, I just feel some type of way. I wasn't even worth come in. First of all, honestly, could have just came to the band hall. You know what it said. Come down here when it's convenient for you. You know what it said. You could just came down here and talk professional to professional. I wasn't gonna bite your head off or nothing like that. I mean, we could just talk. We just left it alone. If I already done turn my resignation in, you said receive. It is what it is. Could just move on with our lives. But now you over here gonna call me into the office and don't talk over the phone, so that way you can have proof that to your friends and to your superiors that I did talk to her, and I got the administrator as a witness. Really could have left all that alone, pimp, but it is what it is. So that happened Tuesday morning, right? Y'all get this. Tuesday afternoon, my super, soon to be ex super, in a few hours, offered my position to my assistant. I love my assistant. She is awesome. She's full of life. She is a team player. She's there for me. She tries so hard to keep me out of trouble. And y'all know that's hard to do, And honestly, I would love for her to take over the program, because she already know how things are ran. And, I'm not going to block her number when I leave, because it's a long list of numbers I'm going to block once I clock out today. But you didn't even give time for that to marinate. it must been 24 hours yet, and you offering my position to somebody else. The school board don't know. I know they don't know. Ain't no way, because why? Because the board meeting haven't came up yet. I bet I'm on the agenda now, though, right? I've been trying to go on the board agenda for the longest, but now I'm on it, right? Ha! But, I haven't had, my resignation has not even been approved by the school board yet. I mean, even if they say it's not approved, I mean, they can't force me to stay. But I'm just saying, though, maybe the school board wants us to see what they can do to keep me, reconsider the situation, whatever, because they have their right to do that. Maybe they want to have a closed meeting to see what's going on. No, we don't do nothing. We're going to go ahead and offer the position point blank. Ain't post no position, nothing like that. Ain't got no application out, no nothing, right? Because the thing at hand is that we all know how this situation works. You offer the position to this person even before the position is posted, and then you tell this person, oh, I just need for you to fill out the application as a formality and do the interview process just as a formality, but I want you to be the position. I want you to have the job. And then next thing you know, oh, well, we didn't take in consideration that we might actually have other candidates for the position, and this person right here is way more qualified than you are. And this thing, got this person hopes of life messed up because they done playing their life in one situation. Now they're going back to a different situation because you over here jumping the gun with no bullets. You're going to have a gun. You're going to jump, at least have some bullets in that thing. You go here, I'm going to think you shooting blanks. You blowing air, but it is what it is. So I'm like, okay. Because the thing is that, I'm the type of person that I know what goes on within this district. And I be finding out from people that's not even in the district. That's the crazy thing about it. I found this out through a whole different source. I had to go and inquire about it to make sure that it wasn't a lie. But, yeah, it is what it is, So, all I gotta say is, I'm sorry, y'all. I was only thinking it's going to be 10 minutes. The thing says 17 minutes already. But all I got to say is this school district deserves better. Its students deserves better. Its educators deserves better. When my late husband passed in the August of 2021, and my super told me he would come to my hometown to meet with me to discuss what can be done to help me come back to work, to get back to the band program, to get back to my band kids. But within that same week, I turned in my doctor's excuse to be off for 3 months because, there was a sudden death. That was emotional, I wasn't mentally prepared to be around my babies, and they didn't deserve to be around me in that situation. So I sent in my doctor excuse and stuff, and then I go to the gas station that we decided we're gonna be up at to discuss some stuff. You never show. August of 2021. See, the thing is that when you do wrong by people, they may forgive, but they ain't gonna forget. They're not gonna forget. And to this day, it still bothers me that you say you're gonna come out here and to be a professional colleague, a professional supervisor, administrator, and help me grieve. Just because you want me back for football season. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You want me back to go ahead and get that band together for the football season because the band was falling apart. But we had an assistant band director at that time. You would not be in that situation. But once again, that's another chronicle that we don't have time for. I deserve better. I deserve better. I didn't deserve that. When I was asked to develop a fine arts implement plan, and to start a choir, just for him to bring in a non-certified theater colleague of his after I applied for the position of what he wanted done, that he said he was going to post for me to do. Mind you, that I went ahead and did all the other stuff for free it was not in my job description. I mean, just did it, you know. My superintendent said he wanted a fine arts. Well, he said performing arts, implant plan. Me, I reach for the top. Well, no, you need a fine arts because, performing art is just a little bit underneath the hierarchy of fine arts. Let's do it like the other schools do it. This because we small don't mean we can't do big things, So I'm thinking you got this position. I'm trying to figure out why the position was posted. It's a supplement. It literally says supplement on the application. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and fill it out anyway, just in case. I even emailed him and inquired about it. Is this what you were talking about? The first email I got back explained what he wanted. And I said, okay, so this is what we're talking about. And I got a response back. That's why I said we have issues with emails around here. So on the impression that I was going to be the one doing this, I spent hundreds of dollars on stuff, personal money. Because like I said, money is no issue with me. It's money. And any teacher put their own money in it, but I put my own money in it. And if I was to put in a tab for the money I put into this school district, yeah. Anyway, though, so you gonna bring in a non-certified theater colleague? Don't tell me that you did an interview. Ain't no possible way you did one, because I applied too. I don't know if that's illegal or not, but I'm qualified. That colleague's not qualified. My license got music, performing arts, everything on it. This colleague got English, reading, literature stuff. Nothing on there. But because we do this as a hobby, we assume that it can be done successfully at a high school level with kids who have a attention span about this big. But okay, whatever. So you know what? It is what it is. You want to hire this person, fine. I'm going to stick to me and just do me. So not only did you hire this colleague of yours to come in to do something that you said you want me to do, but you can provide false information to this person, making it seem like I'm going to be working with and or under them. You smart, come on now. Which caused tension between the two of us in a hectic working environment. I mean, really? Communication and collaboration is all we needed. Did not. The sit-down meeting that was promised when we first had the conflict didn't happen until it escalated to the situation where it was about to go down. Like legal action is about to go down. And now you want to bring people in and talk. I ain't got nothing to say now. It's over and done with. I deserve better. When I was forced to shut down my Christmas program, and band directors out there, you already know. You are multitasking. You still, especially if your football team is decent and they go to playoffs, you are multi doing this, multi-planning this and that. You doing football stuff, you doing parade stuff, and you trying to get a Christmas concert together. So that means you got to start your Christmas stuff late October. So I've been starting this since late October, because if I don't do a Christmas program, why you didn't do a Christmas program? So I'm just trying to stay on the top of it. See the person, see the super in the hallway, invite super to the Christmas program, tell them the date, the time, and everything, right? The next day I get called into the administrator's office telling me I got to shut down my program and I can't do a program unless it's due his colleague. But it's two different things. This colleague's doing theater. This is a band concert in choir. Then, I ain't gonna lie, I snapped, got mad, load my car up, quit a little bit. I just quit just a little bit. Load my car up and everything. But then I took my medicine, was able to cool down for a couple of days and met. And I was like, why would you do that? Why would you shut down something these kids been working hard for since October? Well, tell me, because I don't want the kids to be competing with each other. But the students she used are my students. They're students on my roster. So you don't want them competing with themselves? Because that don't make any sense to me. The logic. What? Or do you want me and her competing against each other? More or less, you just told me you shut it down because you don't want me to overshadow her production. And I'm like, this is two different things. And if we were properly educated in fine arts, you would have understood that. And I try so hard to educate the people when it comes to performing arts, fine arts, literature arts, all of the arts. You know, people hear fine arts, they think music and drawing. You have more than that. Literature is an art, okay? Writing books is a type of art. And I've been trying to art, just... Anyway, though, that's a whole... too many chronicles in one book. Okay, so anyway, though. So, I deserve better to shut down that program and then have to explain to the parents why I had to shut it down without insulting or making it seem like it was the superintendent's fault when it was. Because at the end of the day, I didn't want any conflicts and I was trying to be professional, so I just left it where it was. Yeah. But instead of addressing mistakes that you made, you're going to remove other personnel and try to place blame on them and relocate them to a different campus within the district, which caused the student body to go into uproar. But that's another issue by itself too, though. That's another chronicle, When I was told to dissolve my choir program that was built from scratch after he asked me to build it, even though it's not in my job description, my job description is director of bands. Director of bands. Or band director, not choir director, I'm like, I'm sure I'll do it, Everybody know I don't like to sing. I can sing, I don't. Okay? So, director of band and core activities. There we go. That's what I started to do. You're going to come to me and tell me that I need to dissolve it. I need to get rid of it. Due to lack of communication, collaboration on his part. Because you never sit down and discuss the expectations between me and your colleague who's doing theater. And then you expect me to build it back up when you need stuff. No, that's not going to happen. No. Once I build something, you tell me to tear it down. That's a wrap, buddy. I ain't building it again. If I cook dinner and you say you want spaghetti and I cook spaghetti and you change your mind, you say you don't want no spaghetti, I ain't cooking spaghetti no more. You better eat some ramen noodles, chicken or shrimp. Right. When I met with him and some other of my superiors in October to discuss my vision for fine arts in this district, because the kids, they so talented, they craving it, and we ain't feeding it to them. They starving. They are literally starving. They starving. I mean, the thing is that most of these kids are bad because they can't find a way to express themselves. And we're denying them that opportunity. But, right. So I'm like, okay, give me the title director of fine arts. I'm walking in December with my doctoral degree. Instead of leaving y'all and going someplace else, I want to stay here and I want to build this department up. And I want to be booming, I'll even still teach band class in person. We can make something happen where we can get the junior music point credits taken care of so the kids can still get that that's not in band. I can spread out through the district because, we don't have any elementary school music teachers. We only got 2 music teachers in this whole entire district, me and my assistant band director. I'm trying to feed down to the lower levels. Pre-K deserve music too, So, I had all this planned, all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, we can do that. Yeah. And then in January, I even had a recap. Discuss a 210 administration contract. And, and I even discussed some stuff for my assistant because she deserved more than what she's getting. But she's not as verbal as I am. I'm fine a teacher, but I tried. But me, nope, I'm going to voice all my opinion. Y'all, this thing almost 30 minutes long now. I'm sorry. It's a whole movie now. But, all I wanted was Director of Fine Arts, 210 contract, and you report to MDE that I am an administrator. That's all I wanted. And then, when it's time to pass out contracts to us, you gave me a 187 teacher's contract. And you going to act like you didn't know. You knew. all that chaos that went on between me and the other personnel, because nobody's on the same page. Not only are we not on the same page, we're not even reading the same book. This book is a different title with 5 different authors. You know, I deserve better than that. Especially when we've been discussing this since October, and then we discussed it again in January. Don't act like you didn't know. I mean, really? But okay. I deserve better. So, long story, still long, because I meant to go 30 minutes. Me leaving isn't about receiving my doctorate degree. That was an accomplishment for me in my district, in my band babies. Because the thing in hand is that when I reach for the stars, my kids are going to follow me to reach for it too. I'm going back for a second one. Thank you. Oh my God. Yes. Because my first one's in educational leadership. And my second one's going to be in music education. Okay. So, right. In case you wanted to know, this doctoral degree that I got a couple weeks ago was in educational leadership. So, yes, it's administration for me to be principal. But like I said, I had got that degree already with my specialist in educational leadership. So, I already had the credentials to be an administrator. But once again, music is my passion. So, I continue to do music. So, it's not about my doctoral degree. Okay, it's about me realizing my worth. And the way I realized it, it brought sorrow to myself. But it also made me realize, you know what? I deserve better. What I deserve, I know my worth. And I don't deserve any of this. Never did. You know. So, I got a little message to all y'all. I'm going to go through the list. So, I'm going to start with my band babies. To my band babies. Know that I will always love you all. Please remain in the band. Y'all don't quit. Okay? Y'all extra. Don't quit. Okay? Don't protest. Get in the band and do right. Okay? If the director asks you to be quiet, be quiet. All right? Don't do that. Do what you're supposed to do. Behave yourself and pay your band fees. Okay? Do what you're supposed to do. All right? Continue to work hard for that band scholarship because you deserve it. All right? I mean, and if you need any help, I may not block you on Facebook. I might respond to you in Messenger. Okay? Okay, now if you take advantage of that, then I might end up blocking you. All right, so only contact me for, important stuff. To my colleagues, to my awesome colleagues, y'all continue to push through like y'all always do, okay? But don't forget, you matter too, all right? Don't underestimate your worth like I did. Because you are way more valuable than you give yourself credit for. To my campus administrator, don't let your position drain your light, baby. No matter what good you do for this school, there will always be someone who will try to find or even create negativity. All right, you continue to shine bright, as bright as you can. So that way, those students that's under you, because you over all the kids, they may have teachers, but at the end of the day, all those kids, you continue to shine bright for them, okay? So that way they know which way they need to go in life. Sometimes I see that light draining, and there's nothing I can do about it. And now that I'm gone, I know it's written that I can do about it now. So you just go ahead and you continue to shine that light, babe. Okay? You go continue to guide those kids. Be that anchor. To my replacement, please be patient with my band babies. Please. I've been in their lives for several years, and this will be a sudden change for them, and it's going to take them a while to adjust and adapt. Okay, so don't take it personally. If they compare and contrast, none of us are the same. Every band director got their own different style and their own different techniques. Okay, so just bear with them, and over a period of time, it will get better. I promise you, you respect those band kids, they're going to respect you. I promise you that. Okay? So please just be patient with them. To my super, soon to be at super. I pray that you will uphold the motto where our children come first for every student and organization within the school district. Providing financial funds and being present for a few minutes is not enough for these students. It's not enough. It's not enough. These students, some of these students, they shouldn't feel like the step kids visiting their dad for the summer who had to compete with their step siblings and half siblings. Because I'm going to be honest, that's exactly what my band kids feel like. They shouldn't feel like step kids. Visitation rights. Yeah, you send money every month. Yeah, they want something, they can get it. I ain't going to lie. Superintendent provided a great amount of funds in this band program. Whoever come in after me, you won't need nothing physical. The instruments are here, everything. And I cleaned up the band hall really well. It's really nice. I got signs and stuff up and everything. I organized it. Oh, but the pants, the uniform pants need to be cleaned. I cleaned the jackets. I'll hang that up before I leave. But the uniform pants, they still dirty. Sorry, I ain't have time. But anyway though, but for as the time and the presentation of being present, the kids, they crave that and they didn't get it. The love and attention and affection that is provided to certain events, it need to be spread out through all the events evenly and continuously, not when it's convenient. Don't come up there and show all your love and appreciation once they accomplish something. Be there through the struggle. Okay? You kind of thing in hand is that the same way though certain kids at the other organizations feel when you be present and you congratulating them and tell them great job. Those kids be wanting the same thing for other organizations too. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. To the district as a whole. To the whole district. I enjoyed my time here with y'all. I promise y'all I did. All I gotta say is, may the blood of the Most High cover and protect all y'all as you prepare for the upcoming trials and tribulations. May his spiritual strength race through y'all veins towards your hearts to help provide you with the courage and guidance you need to overcome any obstacles. May peace kindle your hearts and soothe your souls. I'm going to miss y'all. And you want to hit me up? Follow me on Facebook. Oh my God. And Instagram. I don't know how to work it that well, but yeah, Instagram me. The TikTok thingy, I'm still learning that. I'll try to figure that out. But for real, seriously though, y'all need anything, y'all know where to find me. I want to thank everybody for being a team player. Team Toya. I want to miss y'all. But like I said, I won't be a stranger. Hit me up. People keep on asking, what are you going to do? I'm going to go home. I'm going to sit down and chill because I can. I could have been did that. Honestly, I could have sat down and chilling. But in 2021, yeah, I could have stayed home then, but I didn't. I came back for my babies, but I got to do what's best for myself now. So, with that being said, I love y'all. Y'all stay out of trouble, because I ain't. Ooh. Hold it down for the 99-2000. I'm out.